It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Noel. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. All right, let's jump right into it. So guys, I know we've been following the Erika Girardi, Tom Girardi cases so closely. We even had Emily D. Baker on here and tried to break down the legal jargon for us, kind of break down some of these big terms that we don't necessarily know what's going on, or at least I don't. So I'm not afraid to admit it. I just wanted to better understand what exactly is going to happen. So Emily D. Baker came on to let us know that they are in a lot of financial and legal drama. This is big. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4 cases. It's multiple cases. Now we're talking about trustees being appointed, multiple trustees, and then also a conservatorship. It seems like everything is going downhill for the Girardis. But let's jump right into the latest because I know I've brought you back up to date on the rest of that. I'm going to probably go back over it a little bit at the end. But for now, I want to talk about what's new. So Mr. Girardi, Erika's soon-to-be ex-husband, has been placed under conservatorship. We know that his brother, Robert Girardi, has reached out to the judge asking if he could pretty much take the reins and be his conservator, be granted conservatorship because Mr. Girardi doesn't fully comprehend what's going on. They said that he might even eventually be moving into a facility that treats for neurocognitive disorders. But we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. For now, we know that Mr. Girardi hasn't been attending his hearings, and that's because they're saying that his health is playing into that. His health is playing a big role, so he's not able to show up. That's the word that we're getting, so I guess that's what we're going to have to go with. Again, he might be moved into a care facility, a medical facility, which I asked Emily D. Baker, do a lot of attorneys use tactics like this, like losing your mind, saying that you're mentally incompetent, saying that you have really bad health issues in order to get out of criminal charges? Is that a normal thing? She said, well, no, none of this is really normal, but people do it, obviously. And a lot of other attorneys are speculating that this might be something Mr. Girardi might be doing. So until, again, anything is proven, I guess we have to wait and see what happens with the courts. But what we do know is Los Angeles Superior Judge Daniel Juarez granted a petition filed by Robert Girardi to take conservatorship of his 81-year-old brother, Mr. Girardi. Now, this isn't forever. This is only temporary, but he filed this on Monday. An article came out on February 1st from The Blast saying that Mr. Girardi, being Robert Girardi, would take temporary conservatorship over his brother, Tom, because of his alleged health issues. Now, apparently from reports, Mr. Girardi's court-appointed lawyer, Rudy Cosillo, said that Thomas could not fully comprehend the nature of the proceedings. Although he did state that he had no objections towards Robert taking care of him, he's limited on the purpose of executing contracts on his behalf. And Mr. Girardi even went out and said that he feels like he's concerned. He doesn't want this whole court hearing to become a big media circus. He indicated that he wanted to continue the matter for 30 days as 10 identified the petitioner and reviewed the petition with him. And the lawyer went on to add that right now Mr. Girardi is currently going through tests to test his memory and see if they have any real health issues going on here. A lot of people aren't really necessarily liking that because people feel like this is all a ploy. And again, Jay Edelson from Edelson PC came forward and said he was having conversations with Mr. Girardi just a month and a half ago in December of 2020, where they were going over some of the cases. And he said that Mr. Girardi seemed fully competent, that he has no clue where any of this is coming from. And he thinks that this is probably coming to surface now at this point only because there are criminal charges being pursued. Again, guys, if you remember, as I went over, Mr. Girardi was forced into a bankruptcy and then had to file Chapter 7 right after. But Mr. Girardi's brother is claiming that with all of the stresses of his health issues and also going through the court systems with these allegations, that his health, his mental health is deteriorating, and that's why he needs to step forward to help out. Now, while his brother claimed that Mr. Girardi is unable to perform his day-to-day functions, his many creditors, again, like Jay Edelson of Edelson PC, have come forward calling this a sham, a floozy, wrong, saying that this is not real and that they're not buying it for a second. They're questioning if he's lost any of his memory, and they're just saying that this is very convenient timing that you're going through all of this right when you're getting hit with these charges. Now, Us Weekly came forward and said that a conservatorship is supposed to, I guess, expire by March 30th, but they will have another hearing on March 15th. So again, when I say temporary, I mean very temporary. In this upcoming hearing, the court is going to go over a few requests that Mr. Girardi's brother has for him, and one of them would be his petition to be given authority in order to check Mr. Girardi, being Tom Girardi, into this facility that works really well with neurocognitive disorders. So he's petitioning that he can pretty much put Tom into this facility at this point. Now, guys, there are so many questions here, so many questions that we don't have answered. Again, we'll have to steal Emily D. Baker back in the future, of course. But in the meantime, I'm just so curious to see how this plays out. And do you guys think that this is going to turn into some sort of Lifetime movie? I mean, seriously, this has all of the perfect elements. I mean, your wife was a housewife. She was on Chicago. She used to be a go-go dancer. She didn't technically have the most money in the world. And now it's expensive to be her. No, it's not anymore. But she has videos and music out that's just kind of boasting all of the money that she has. And you know, it's kind of her whole persona is made up off of this. And then you have this high power attorney who is not only big in the legal field, but also he had a movie, Aaron Brockovich movie, made kind of designed around him and Aaron Brockovich. So this is a recipe for a great Lifetime or even Netflix movie because there's a lot going on here. Now, again, it wasn't just 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 cases of this alleged fraud and embezzlement. There were many cases. One of those cases, even just to hit the nail on the top of the head, would be the Rio Gomez case, where this woman, this poor woman, and her son was burned and also put into a coma. They won $11 million by using Mr. Girardi as their attorney. As soon as they won the money, though, he suggested to them that they put it in a high interest account. That way they don't spend all of the money. However, every time that Mrs. Rio Gomez would call in and check on the money, he would assure them, no, you don't want to take any more money. Listen, your money's fine. It's making you money. Let's just leave it alone. Finally, she got fed up and she was like, no, I want to see my money. And there was no money left to see. Now, they did end up going back to court and she won this settlement saying that, you know, he owes her the rest of the $11 million. And he allegedly only paid $1 million of it, meaning there's still $10 million missing. My biggest question here was for Emily D. Baker, which I did ask her, what happens to all of these victims who have lost millions and millions and millions of dollars if there's nowhere else to pull the money from? Like if all the assets are liquidated? And she said that they're just out of money. And I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I can't even believe that this is how this works. And if it is how this works, and there was millions and millions of dollars allegedly being embezzled, my next big question is, did Erika Jayne, Erika Girardi, Erika Jayne, whatever you want to call her, did she know? Was she aware? Because people are so angry with her right now because she's gallivanting all over the place. She has her beauty glam photos. She's in La Jolla having a good picnic time with the rest of the cast members of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, apart from Sutton Strack, who had a leg injury, and Garcelle, who seems to not be getting along with the ladies at this point. But the point is, a lot of people don't want to watch her on our screens anymore. They don't want to see it. They're fed up, they're mad, and they don't want to see this woman living this glamorous life off of blood money. Also, people are wondering too, if in fact Erika is innocent, Why has she not come forward faster to really help the trustees and everyone figure out the full list of assets? Or is she just keeping her hands clean from this? We're going to have to wait and find out. Again, guys, there are so many questions that are unanswered, but I always love hearing what you have to say. I read all of the comments, so go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss anything we have coming up. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Seriously, I am curious to see if this plays out on the new season, which we know it will have to, at least on Erika's side. I don't know how much we'll get of Mr. Girardi's, but I'm also curious if he's going to get a media circus of a courtroom day. I mean, his day in court. Will that be a media circus? I obviously know it's not as big as Bill Cosby or Casey Anthony or something like that, but he also was the Aaron Brockovich lawyer. So he's been known to be highly publicized before. Let's wait and see. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Check us out every Monday and Wednesday. Thanks for watching Up and Adam.